cups of yogurt or buttermilk or soured milk. To make soured milk, add 2 tablespoons of vinegar or lemon juice to 2 cups of milk and let it stand for 10 minutes or so. 3 or 4 tablespoons of lard or bacon fat melted in your skillet as the oven heats. Now mix the wet part into the dry part and beat well. Pour into the hot cast iron skillet with its sizzling fat. Bake at 425 for 20 to 25 minutes. Turn out onto a round platter and cut into wedges. Split and butter them, or split them and smother them with collards and their pot liquor. Ah, I got carried away. You're making this cornbread for your Thanksgiving dressing, not to eat with tonight's greens. So let the bread cool, wrap it well, and freeze it until the day before Thanksgiving. The dressing. Thaw the cornbread the day before you make the dressing. For the dressing, melt 4 tablespoons or so of butter in a large skillet. Add 2 chopped onions and 3 or 4 stalks of celery, minced. Cook over medium-low heat, stirring occasionally until everything is softened but not browned. While the onions and celery are cooking, crumble all the cornbread into a big bowl. It's fun to crumble it up with your fingers. If you like, either to increase the quantity or just because, you can also add a couple cups of half-inch pieces of firm white bread dried out in the oven. When the onion and celery are ready, dump them into the bowl with the cornbread, along with a couple teaspoons of dried sage or a couple tablespoons of fresh sage minced. Add salt and pepper. When this mixture has cooled a bit, mix in an egg and some warm chicken or turkey stock. You want a moist mixture, but definitely not a runny one. At this point, there are a lot of optional additions. Cooked crumbled sausage meat, pecans chopped and toasted, roasted chestnuts chopped, oysters if you like that sort of thing in your dressing. Any of these will work, but I usually leave mine just plain. Put the dressing into a 9 by 13-inch baking dish or something similar. You can make it to this point a day or two ahead. Keep it refrigerated, of course. Bake it for 60 to 90 minutes, depending on what else is in your oven and how high the temperature is. If it seems to be drying out as it bakes, ladle some warm stock over it. If you've put in too much stock, allow a little more time in the oven so the extra liquid can evaporate. Serve it with good turkey gravy. Stock and gravy. Before we talk about gravy, we have to talk about stock. How are you going to make turkey stock when the turkey carcass itself is still covered with flesh and is roasting in the oven? You could, if you were so inclined, bone the turkey before you roast it and make a stock with the bones. I don't think that's going to happen myself, but if you have 3 or 4 hours to spare for turkey boning, be my guest. You could also, of course, use purchased chicken stock. But if you have none of that on hand, here's how to make the relatively small amount you will need for making gravy and moistening the dressing. Put the turkey neck and giblets into a 3-quart saucepan. The giblets in the little sack inside your bird are probably the heart, the gizzard, and the liver. The neck should also be in the bird, though not in the little sack. It may still be attached to the bird, in which case you'll have to cut it off yourself. If you don't want to include the liver in the stock, some people feel it makes the stock bitter, you can cook it up separately in butter on medium heat and feed it to either the cook or the cat. Add an onion to the pot, a chopped stalk of celery or some leaves of lovage, a carrot, a teaspoon of peppercorns, a bay leaf, a couple of allspice berries, and about 10 cups of water with a cup of white wine. Measurements are not crucial here. Bring the pot to a boil, skim, then simmer for at least 2 hours